I really wish there was somebody here that could assist me in my anchoring. What? What?
Hello.
Hey, you summoned me.
I'm Derek Purdy,
I'm Matthew Harrington.
and you're watching
MVTV!
MVTV.
Yeah.
On March 2nd, if you want to talk to your teachers with your parent, you can go to parent-teacher conferences from 5 to 8 p.m. And also on that same day, band and choir concert at 6:30 p.m. in the theater.
And on March 3rd, we have a Key Club-sponsored blood drive, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the theater.
That's right. If you want to give blood and are able to, you should.
Gosh, life is so boring nowadays. Every time I come home from school, I just lay in my bed and the hours drain away, and then I go back to bed only to go to school again. I just wish there was something I could do after school.
Yeah, well, we've got clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shocker.
Wow.
We've got clubs here.
What kind of clubs do we have?
Oh, we've got a whole bit about it.
Oh, tell me all about it, dude.
I won't tell you all about it. They will.
Oh, well, let's roll the tape.
So, you know there's a lot of clubs here at
we're
school?
recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know there's a lot of clubs here at school, right?
Yes!
Yeah, and we're going to list them off here for you. So,
Oh,
Monday after school is Key Club in Mrs. Keaton's room.
they forge keys there.
They
to
do.
break into
It's
people's
really,
homes.
it's crazy.
It's
I've been
yeah,
there.
you should go there.
Boots and Bindings Club is wrapping up the ski season, so check in next fall if you want to join
Go
Ski
cut
Club.
some powder.
Chess Club is Tuesday after school. Go
Go
your
kings
other-
and queens.
The other
Slay the day.
Latin Club is the first Tuesday of every month, so upcoming March 7th is going to be your next Latin
You could
Club
learn
meet.
how to summon demons.
Klaatu, Barata, necktie, nectar, nickel. Noodle, it's an N-word.
I don't think
Via
that's what Latin is.
Yeah, it is. That's the old language they use to summon demons in movies and real life. Anyways,
Art Club is Thursday, March 2nd, after school until 4:45. Get your art on. Astronomy Club is Thursday, March 2nd, after school until 3:45 in room 143.
get your astrology on, y'all.
That's not the right thing. Astrology is like signs, like birth signs. I know
I'm
that.
an Aquarius, if you're interested in this.
Gaming Club is Thursday, March 2nd until 5 p.m. So bring your video games.
Get your gaming on, y'all.
You know it. Drama Club will not be meeting because they are preparing for Cinderella, but check back later for more information.
Get your drama on, y'all.
You know it. And finally, In the Know on Friday until 4 in Mr. Fetter's room.
Get your knowledge on, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
See you next week.
I love birthdays. They make me so happy. Oh my God. This guy is being birthed out of space-time. How old are you, man?
57.
Your hair's a little frizzy. There you go, buddy.
We're doing birthdays.
Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you.
Oh.
I was just born.
It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. Everybody say hooray. Hooray. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today. Yay. He can't read, so he does not know that the cake is not for him. No. It might be his birthday too, but the chance of that is slim. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. Hooray. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today.
there's another Pack United event coming around.
Oh.
This time, bowling.
Yeah. Last week we did or however many weeks ago we did the
Axe throwing?
Axe throwing.
Yeah.
Right. There's another event that you can go to.
Oh, that was almost a strike.
You know, this is bowling event coming up.
Oh, that's good, because I can't take that paint can bowling. It really
Yeah.
isn't it.
It's not
they
the
say.
right type.
No, it needs to be more round and like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
So I'd love to go actually bowling.
Yeah.
If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 miles to the
Love shack, yeah, yeah. I'm heading down the Atlanta highway, looking for the love getaway.
Show me those bowling skills, boy. Yeah. Let me zoom out.
Put this on.
Go, 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 go. You got this.
Place where we can get together. Love shack, baby. Love shack, baby, love shack. Love shack, baby, love shack.
sign said, stay away, fools, the club room.
So close. Sit way back in the middle of a field, just a funky old shack, and I gotta get
Get us a strike. Woo! Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be 1 second strike in the game.
glitter on the front porch, glitter on the highway. Love shack is a little.
Man, guys, March 15th, Pack United bowling event. It's going to be crazy at Colonial Lanes.
There's going to be no cost. There's going to be
Everything's
snack
free.
available. You
Free
can just
snacks,
walk in.
free everything.
Nova and the police officer is going to be there.
Yeah, Officer Armstrong, and you're going to get funny little Nova stickers.
Yeah.
It's going to be
It's going to be a
baller,
blast.
you could say, because bowling balls.
So you like trains, right?
I love trains.
Trains are
I
awesome.
still watch Thomas and Friends every day.
Awesome. Me too.
My favorite show, and I collect the little toy trains.
Yeah, but this isn't about Thomas. This is about a real train that crashed in East Palestine, Ohio, carrying a lot of caustic material.
What? That's horrible.
It really is. And more on that in the next segment.
Hello, this is MVTV News, and today we're going to give you the most realistic report on the train derailment that happened in East Palestine. I'm here with professional person Nick Grega. Now, tell me about what's going on over there.
Well, I am, as Jimmy said, a professional person, so I can say things with authority. Now, as you might already know, a train derailed carrying toxic chemicals in East Palestine, Ohio, at the beginning of this month. This is near Pennsylvania in eastern Ohio. Pretty scary stuff. It had a bunch of toxic chemicals,
Yeah.
such as vinyl chloride, which, you know, the train derailed, came off the rails and caught on fire. And so yeah, there's a bunch of chemicals going into the air, the soil, and the water system, which is pretty scary. Luckily, vinyl chloride especially, a lot of these chemicals evaporate very quickly and are dispersing. So there isn't too much harm, immediate harm that we're seeing to the people. No one has died yet. However, it is, at first it was dangerous and entered the water system pretty quickly. So 3,500 fish have been found dead, which is rough for the fish. Yep, got to keep the fish alive. Obviously,
Fish lives matter.
Yep. The Environmental Protection Agency showed up, you know, as is their job, and have been doing investigations along with state and national people. it's been found to be a mechanical failure, is what caused the derailment.
Makes sense.
And a lot of people are pointing at the company who was responsible for the train, Norfolk Southern, as being lax in their safety, and yeah, mostly their fault, and they are being told by the EPA and the government to compensate people who are injured and clean the mess up. And if they don't do that, then they're going to have to pay a fine 3 times the cost of cleanup and whatnot. Yeah.
So basically, this isn't going to be like a small Chernobyl.
This is not a small Chernobyl. No, it is not that bad.
So it's,
well, it's pretty bad still. Like, it shouldn't have happened, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see a bunch of people die from this, which is awesome.
Ohio's Valentine, small Chernobyl.
Just the fish.
And that was MVTV News. Thank you, professional person Nick Grega,
It's been a pleasure
for being with me today. You have a wonderful day.
Hi, I'm here with Mr. Vanderhoof, a chemistry teacher here at the high school. Disclaimer, he is not a doctor, so if you'd like to have additional information, find someone else. So, a train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, close to the border of Pennsylvania, and it leaked vinyl chloride everywhere. And so what information do you have on that?
Well, the first thing to realize is vinyl chloride is that smell that comes from new shower curtains when you unroll them the first time. So it's a commonly used chemical. We make millions and millions and millions of tons of it every year. But the concern is that it does cause cancer before it's reacted to make the polymer. So that was a big concern. The good news is none of those tankers actually spilled. So they were knocked over and they were exposed to fire. And since vinyl chloride's a gas, if you've taken chemistry, you know if you heat up a gas, the pressure just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they were concerned those tankers were going to explode and throw shrapnel a mile away, which of course would be some concern for the residents of the town. So what they did was they released the vinyl chloride. And you might think that's a terrible idea. Well, here's what they did. They released it and they burnt it. And when you burn vinyl chloride, it actually isn't vinyl chloride anymore. It turns into a bunch of other things. It turns into things like carbon dioxide, like we breathe out. It turns into hydrochloric acid, like is in our stomach. It turns into carbon monoxide, which is what we have carbon monoxide detectors in our houses for. And the big concern was it turns into phosgene, which is a chemical weapon that was used in World War I that will kill you very, very rapidly. Though it smells like freshly mown hay, which is nice. It has a nice smell as it kills you. The big concern was that it released all these deadly things, and as you look at the graph, they're all above the level that it would kill you on. The good news is they're all gases, so they mixed in with the atmosphere, and at this point are no longer at hazardous levels. Since they're gases, they don't stay in the ground, they just evaporate. So that area, the big concern, and the reason that the fish died and things was the oil, the lubricating oil that was on the train. So basically what they have is an oil spill more than anything else, which is obviously of its own concern, but EPA seems to be dealing with all right.
So was burning the vinyl chloride the right choice? Were there any better choices?
So vinyl chloride, if they had not burnt it, would have distributed into that environment at very high levels. And vinyl chloride causes cancer. None of those other things cause cancer, at least not long term. So if we were considering, if I were doing that, that's what I would have done. Do a chemical reaction that makes it no longer a carcinogen. Although it was deadly to breathe right at that moment, they had evacuated everybody from the area. They were careful to get everybody out of the town. They had the police get every single person out of the area before they did that. Now, did it kill animals? Certainly it did. But did it kill people? It did not. Had they let it go, lots of people would have gotten cancer.
What's the impact for us here in Mount Vernon?
I don't think there will be any. We're not downstream from there, so we don't have to worry about the oil spill. As far as those chemicals go, the levels that we would get this far away aren't even measurable. And you got to remember, and there'll be a graph for this, that we're talking about parts per million. That means that if you have 2 parts per million, there's 2 basically particles of that for every, what's a million minus 2? It's a really big number of everything else. So even all those things that were burnt and released are a small portion of the air that was happening there. So you spread those out among all the air in Ohio and there's very, very little chemicals that are left there.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Mr. Vanderhoof, for the information. If you want more information, talk to Mr. Vanderhoof or somebody else.
Yep, so remember, the best place to go for medical advice is your doctor. There's also lots of information from government agencies and non-governmental agencies. Just make sure that they are not intentionally trying to scare you, that they actually are an unbiased source of information. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Man, it's coming up on like a year since the war was started.
It's really
in
a
Ukraine.
tragedy, guys. It's
Like, I wish I knew, like, what's going on over there.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I think
honestly.
there's war going on, but it might be deeper than that. I
could be.
genuinely, I'm not an expert.
Well, we have an expert here.
Is he like actually a professional expert, or is he
Not at
just-
all.
It's just someone who knows about it. Okay, let's see what they have to say. Hey guys, it's Matthew and Michael, and he's going to give you guys an update on the Ukraine war.
All right, welcome back to talk about Ukraine. Had our last update around November of last year with the Kharkiv counteroffensive, which is where we left off. So we're just going to pretty much cover everything that's happened since then until the present. So let's start off with the Kherson counteroffensive. Following the successful Kharkiv counteroffensive, which is what we covered last time we talked about this, the Ukrainians were able to successfully push the Russians out of western Kherson outblast and actually recapture the Kherson city itself, which is the only major city besides Donetsk and Luhansk that Russia has actually been able to capture since the war started. So since Donetsk and Luhansk was basically under Russian control before the war actually broke out, because of all the separatists that are over in eastern Ukraine and all that. Kherson was a big morale defeat for Ukraine because it was the only regional capital that fell to the Russians. So with the capture of Kherson, although it's still on the front line, however, it's protected by the Dnieper River, so there shouldn't be any threat of the Russians taking the city back anytime soon, hopefully. Moving on from that, ever since the Kharkiv and Kherson counteroffensive, the Russians have massively scaled up their missile campaign in Ukraine, and Putin has resorted to attacking Ukrainian electric infrastructure, such as power plants and basically anything that provides power, so solar panels, wind turbines, in a desperate attempt to knock out the Ukraine power grid in order to force the Ukrainian people into submission.
That's pretty rough, man. It's really horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Are a lot of the civilians like out of there now?
Quite a few have evacuated west to either the western side of the country or actually crossed over into Poland and other places in Europe. But a good majority of them are actually still there. And that's just mainly women and children. Like any able-bodied male has to stay because of the draft and all that stuff.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't say. I would run away. I don't want to die in war. That'd really suck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Take it away, Michael. Sorry.
It's fine. Anyway, along with the bombing campaign, while that was all happening, there was stalemate on the front lines in eastern and southern Ukraine, from over by Kherson all the way to places like Zaporizhia, the Donetsk and Luhansk oblast, obviously. And on top of that, there's actually a new major battle that's actually going on that if the Russians actually win, it will be a huge morale boost for the Russians. It will be a big symbolic victory for Putin, which is this Battle of Bakhmut that's been raging for at least 6 months now. For the first few months of the battle, it's been pretty much stalemate, but over the last month or two, the Russians have heavily scaled up their attacks in and around Bakhmut in an attempt to capture it. And along with that, they've captured cities surrounding Bakhmut, like the small salt mining town of Soledar to the northeast of Bakhmut, which the Russians captured, I believe, at sometime in January, if I remember correctly, possibly right at the beginning of this month. I don't really remember. Anyway, with the Battle of Bakhmut and all of that, we'll probably have a map of the battle that's actually going on right now. And as you can see, Ukrainians are holding strong in Bakhmut itself. However, the defense around the flanks of Bakhmut appear to be weakening as the Russians have been launching several spearheads in an attempt to encircle Bakhmut and cut it off logistically, which would force either a Ukrainian surrender or would force the Ukrainians to retreat from Bakhmut entirely. So as long as the flanks hold and as long as Bakhmut itself holds, hopefully Bakhmut and the surrounding cities to the west that haven't already been captured by the Russians will hopefully remain in Ukrainian hands. And along with that, the Russians continue to threaten nuclear action against the West, and especially with Biden and also the British and the Germans agreeing to send tanks to Ukraine, which include Leopard 2s, Challenger 2s, and then obviously the M1 Abrams, which is an American tank. Let's just hope that this war stays in Ukraine and doesn't spread any further, as that wouldn't be a good day for anybody, especially if that were to go thermonuclear. So let's just pray.
Man, I don't want to get nuked or drafted into a war.
Yeah, it's that stuff. But besides that, that's pretty much it for Ukraine. So if you have any questions,
Let
don't
this
feel
guy
free to,
know. He knows a lot.
yeah,
Not even
feel free to
scripted.
contact
He's
us
just
if you see
saying
me in the
stuff.
hallway. You can ask me a question or something like that.
Oh, I think that's about it.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching MVTV. Please subscribe, like, and I'm gonna go get some lunch.